Today we are going to learn about another kind of graph. The graph that we are going to learn about today is called a bar graph. Today we're just going to focus on using bar graphs to answer questions, and then tomorrow we'll talk about building bar graphs. Let's start by looking at a couple of examples. The slide that you see right now on the screen right here, this is a picture of a bar graph. A bar graph has some similar features to graphs that we have looked at before. A bar graph has a title, it has categories, it has numbers for us to identify how many people have voted for that category. And then this kind of graph shows the data by one bar representing each category. So dog has a bar, cat has a bar, horse has a bar, giraffe has a bar, tiger has a bar, and bear has a bar. So we can see who voted for each category by looking at the bars, the categories, and the numbers. In today's assignment, you are going to have graphs that are similar to this. Now, let me tell you something about bar graphs. The bars on a bar graph can either go vertical, like they are on this example, or they can go horizontal. Either way, you still are going to have a title, categories, numbers, and bars. Let's go back to this example. It says, look at the data. You can look at the data by looking at the graph. Move the stars to show the greatest and least number of votes. So on your example, let me come over here, there's going to be two stars off to the side. Move the red one to the category that had the greatest and the purple to the category that had the least. So over here we see dog had the greatest because it has the highest bar, and bear has the least because its bar is shortest. Then the directions say answer the questions about the data. Over here are the questions. How many children liked horses and tigers? Well, let's go back to our graph. We see the category horse. Now we need to see the number that matches up with where horse ends. So let's go clear to the top of this bar. And then we can go over here to the numbers, and there's a 5 where that bar ended. That means 5 students liked horses. So it says 5. Now it says tigers. So we can find tiger, go to the top of the bar, go all the way over, and it has a 4. So we know 4 children like tigers. It wants to know how many altogether, which means we need to add. So 5 plus 4 equals 9. Now it says how many more children liked giraffes than cats? Well, we find the category giraffe. We go clear to the top, go clear over to the side where the numbers are. How many children like giraffes? Very good, 7 of them. Now you can go and find cats. Let's find cat all the way up to the top, over to the left, and we find that 4 children liked cats. 7 minus 4, because it said how many more, is 3. Last question for this example. How many more children liked dogs than bears? Oh, that's a how many more again, so we know it's subtraction. Let's find dog. Okay, here's dog all the way up to the top. We see 8 students voted for dogs. And now we need to find bear. We go all the way to the top, and we see that 2 students voted for bear. So 8 minus 2 is 6. Let's look at one more example. I'm not going to do this one with you, but you will be ready as soon as you're done watching this video to complete it. Here's your graph. You have all of your categories. They're fruit this time. Here's your numbers that represent the number of votes down here at the bottom. And then you know what to do with your stars and your questions. Let's just review this. Strawberries. We're going to follow that bar clear over until it ends. And then we go to the line that it ends at. We go all the way down and we see that there is a 6. That means 6 students voted for strawberries. Let's do the same with bananas. All the way over to where the bar ends, all the way down to the bottom. We're at 4. 4 students voted for bananas. Grapes. This is the last one we're going to review together. Grapes. We'll go all the way to the end of the bar. We go all the way to the bottom where the numbers are, and we have a 7, which means 7 students voted for grapes. I think that you guys are going to be able to identify how to read bar graphs by the end of today, as long as you remember that you have to use the numbers on the side of the graph and the categories on the other side. Let's go clear to the bottom and look at the last two slides that you're going to answer questions on. These two slides have bar graphs. They have categories, they have numbers, they have bars that represent data, and then there's three questions for you to answer. This one is just how many people chose fish, and this one is a little bit tricky. It says order the votes from least to greatest, and how many more students chose cat than snake. So you can answer all three of those questions using the graph. And then on this slide, same thing. Here's your graph, and here's three different questions.